Ugh. What are you looking at? Do you know how a windmill actually works? Possibly. Well then, you would be able to tell me that a windmill like this would not be standing. Let me explain. This is the windmill in the well of Illios in Overwatch. Duh. This central axle is called the hub. It's where all of the fan blades connect to. The hub is also where the drivetrain connects to the fan blades, which then gives control of the fan blades' rotational speeds. There also needs to be what's called a yaw system. This connects to the base of the windmill and it allows the system to pivot entirely. It can change for wind speed and direction. Now, I promise this video is about Overwatch, just bear with me. This windmill does not appear to have a yaw system. If it did, this whole metal plate would have to rotate and this pipe would not be able to stay connected because of the wooden frame that it's kept between. Furthermore, why is a windmill placed only halfway up this cliff face? I mean, look over there. Isn't that a much better place for a windmill on top of the cliff? This would give you maximum energy efficiency and I mean, that's the whole point of a windmill, right? Because it would be more windy on top of this cliff. Right, oh my god, I'm taking the jump roll. I'm not tough. I look like I'm about to go for a run. Now, this leads me pretty nicely to my next point. What is the deal with all the solar panels? Especially on Illios, they're everywhere. We are here in Illios, Greece, which is, you know, like Santorini. It's based off of Santorini, which is in the northern hemisphere. That means that the sun at its peak is in the southern compass direction. The sun goes east, south, west. That's like it rises in the east, peaks in the south, and then sets in the west, right? Good. So tell me why we have solar panels facing north. There are a lot of questionable placements of solar panels which would harbor close to or literally zero energy efficiency. Not to mention this windmill that we've just talked about is a double-sided solar panel, but one of those sides would get zero sunlight, so why would they waste double the material to just I mean, they're also just spending extra money to double-side it. It's just beyond me. And not to mention, I didn't want to mention this. Look at this. I mean, a solar panel's just an aesthetic in the future because this is the worst design I've ever fucking seen. While we are here, I want to share some cool Illios quirks. For example, these butterflies that surround this plant disappear every other frame. That is so odd. That is so weird. Why do they do that? I don't know. You don't know. Probably game design, but bring back the butterflies. I was flying around Illios ruins and I was like, man, there's some statues of some Greek gods here. I don't know Greek gods, but I think I actually figured out who these gods are. The first one, this woman with the silly hat. Can I say that? It's not silly. It's an alright hat. This woman with the hat is actually Athena, the goddess of love. But if I'm wrong, you're not allowed to say anything. Just don't look it up. I think I'm right. And this man here, I thought at first that it was Zeus, but then I looked at the hair. Zeus has got way too much hair for a balding statue like this. I think it's Hippocrates. But I'm not fully sure because Hippocrates looked a little bit different to this statue. So why don't you let me know in the comments down below? I might actually be right. If I am right, then I'm the smartest man ever because I looked at this statue and just Googled Hippocrates. I don't know who the fuck Hippocrates is. It was like a Greek name that came into my brain. So if I'm right about that, I'm really happy. Also, this language for me is entirely unintelligible. I mean, it broke my phone translator app. Look at this bottle of red wine and try and translate it. I fucking dare you. Go right now and try and translate that. You cannot. Now, would you like to know my favorite window in Illios? I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm gonna tell you anyway. I don't know why I'm just whispering. Wow, I've done way too much caffeine. I guarantee you've never seen this window before, by the way. For £210 per week, you can have this wonderful view accompanied by a void to the abyss. I mean, it's not so bad. Put it in like London, someone will buy it. If you are a somewhat observant Overwatch player, then you would have noticed the giant yacht that is behind me. In fact, it circles the entire map while you play Illios. But did you know there is not just one boat, there is in fact two that circle perpendicular. Yeah, that's all I had for that bit. I thought that was quite cool. Oh, there are these two life buoys behind me right here, but I don't know what they're actually for. It can't be for this giant drop of an abyss behind me. And there's no way it's for this empty ass hot tub. Like, I don't know, just leave a comment about the life raft lore. Can we get some lore on that? Hey, Overwatch lore guys, can we get a lore drop on the life raft? Can we get a life raft lore drop, please? I don't understand this. Right, my next note just says, talk about comments and Runasapi conspiracy theory. Oh, we're still talking about solar panels. This is an Overwatch video. We're talking about solar panels. This is Runasapi. This is Runasapi. It's located at the bottom of Machu Picchu in Peru. Peru is in the southern hemisphere. That means that the sun rises in the east, peaks at the north, and sets in the west. So tell me why we have got solar panels facing south. In fact, this is a really hard argument to make because all of the buildings are made out of solar panels, which means the thing I said earlier about solar panels being a fashionable design choice is actually true here, because this building is getting zero sunlight and they're still putting solar panels on it just so it doesn't stand out. Also, while we're in Runasapi, there is like a big conspiracy theory about something. I don't know what the fuck is happening here. Can we get a lore drop on the water situation in Runasapi, please? There is water flowing all the way throughout the map below the road surface, which you can see here. On either sides of the map there are waterfalls coming from the spawns. Inside of these spawns there is a graph that says about temperature. This is like one of those double graphs where it's like you got the light blue and the dark blue. I don't really know what it's talking about. Surely it can't be the water, because I don't think the water is minus 50 degrees. However, all of this water is actually being pumped to the center of the map where they've got a water mill turbine thing. I'm not going to go into depth about the turbine. I'll talk a little bit about the turbine. This turbine is built on top of this cliff and it pumps water down below. The water falls down, generates energy. But tell me why they built it up. You know, like you've got a cliff. You've got a cliff here. And then you could like build it here so it just falls off the cliff. But no, they built it up really high so it could just fall further down the cliff. Why? Just so you can walk through the center bit? Is this really important so you can walk through it? I don't understand it personally, but maybe I'm missing something because I don't know about water mills. What else? Oh, let's talk about the comments. Should we pull up some comments? Shall we have a look? This guy said, I've never looked at the prices on the Hollywood menu before, Lamau. That's why I made the video, dickhead. So I made a video talking about the Brazil painting situation. Pretty much in this room, all of the walls are painted really poorly, and I said, are there no professional painters to do this? To which a man commented, I don't know why I said a man, a person commented on my video saying, I live in Brazil and I can answer this pretty easily. Yes, there are no professional painters, as in Rio de Janeiro. Everyone is fucking poor and the clubs are most of the times just the walls alone with no painting, just concrete. Which makes me think, maybe Lucio's club is very successful. Maybe they're painting the walls because they're a big budget club compared to these other Brazilian ones. There's one last thing that I briefly want to touch on. This is Saravesa, and I was looking around the map the other day and I noticed one thing of interest to me. On this building, there are pigeons. Now, don't get me wrong, pigeons are very common birds, but this is in India, which made me Google, are pigeons common in India? And I found a little bit of pigeon history related to India. So originally, India, similar to China, didn't have any pigeons, or not many at all. Their most common bird was sparrows. Sparrows everywhere instead of pigeons, which made me wonder, why do these buildings not have sparrows on them? Why do they have pigeons? However, in recent years, because of the change in living conditions and the amount of trash and litter everywhere, it's much more easier for pigeons to survive and adapt than it is for sparrows, meaning that pigeons became the most common bird in India instead of sparrows, which is probably why there's pigeons here and not sparrows. So now you've learned a little bit about pigeons and sparrows in India. Are there pigeons in China? I don't think so. No, I don't think there are. Maybe in parts of China, but I don't think there are. There's just sparrows. So yeah, you've learned something about pigeons. I think that's pretty much all I've got to say. Now, am I going to continue talking about Overwatch maps? Maybe, maybe not. I've got some other videos that I want to work on, but it's still going to be me, all right? We don't need to learn about windmills in Overwatch, okay? Check out these other cool videos that I've made. You know, we got the previous one about Overwatch, but we've also got, you know, this long form video video, which is 40-ish minutes long, and I spent like a month on it, 6,000 word Google document, like not like I want. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, check out some of this other stuff, and thank you for your time. Goodbye. I love you. No, I don't.